Well, I think state government needs to do, first of all, needs to get out of the way as much as possible. By that I mean we need to reduce regulation. We need to again create a tax structure that's fair, it's predictable, it's balanced. Give you an idea of one of the things that I think is important is the referral that we did to the ballot that I sponsored in the Senate this year that passed out. It'll be on the ballot, and that's with regard to increasing the exemption for business personal property tax. I think we have a tendency to try to smother entrepreneurs. We smother businesses. I think the last thing that we need to do is to, when I say the last thing, I think is the thing that we should definitely never do. Is I don't think that subsidizing one business from taxpayers or ratepayers is a good thing. I think that's a horrible model, and I think your best example of that is the solar industry. I mean, the fact, do we have any solar? I don't think anybody said this. Oh, good, that's great. Here's a model where the product itself is you have to subsidize it to make it. So you have to entice people to get into there because the technology is not advanced enough, and so you do that, and then you also have to subsidize the consumer because they won't buy it unless you subsidize them. And I could tell you my story where I built a house and it was going to cost $100,000 to do this, but with all the credits and subsidies it would be down to $45,000. And this was from everybody. It was pretty uniform. And yet, even with that, it would take something like 25 or 27 years before we would break even on the cost savings. So I think that's a problem. And I was thinking about this the other day. If you look back to Thomas Edison and his period of time and the regulatory environment, the tax environment that he had, if he was alive today and if we were still in need of incandescent light bulbs, which by the way we are, but we're regulating those out, the feds are. You would never have an Edison power company, you would never have the light bulbs, you'd never have the phonograph, you wouldn't have any of those things because the regulatory environment just absolutely hampers that type of thing. So it's kind of just a rant on government's intrusion that I think is a big problem.